Turks.
Here.
I didn't even say, can we take the roll now?
Oh,
You're all
sorry.
over it. All right, go ahead.
Efficient.
Go ahead. Are there any persons desiring to be heard? Consideration of minutes for April 18th, 2023.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
I will second. New business, police department report, chief.
All right, good evening, everyone. I know I just gave this to you, however, go through some of those bullet points that are on there. First off, the hiring of Officer Bartosik and Longras have been fantastic so far. They're both in field training, progressing very, very well. And Isaac Bartosik is scheduled to come off of field training at the third week in August, and we're on track for that. And then Taylor is scheduled in the end of the first week of September. So once we are back up to full staff there, we have already started to push out with my bullet point number 2 is developing of that specialist position. And this is what we've been talking about for a long time. And it's finally coming to fruition where we are creating that hybrid position between added patrol time and also investigator's position. So we've added a bunch of extra duties in that position. We've collaborated with the union to keep it a union position, to stay with the scheduling, overtime, all those hours. There's no increase in pay or anything. It's just a specialty position that will be assigned for like a 2 to 3 year period. And it'll then rotate from one officer to the next, assuming there are additional individuals who want to do that. The person is going to be working the same 4-2, 4-4 type schedule, 4 days on, 2 days off, 4 days on, 4 days off. And their off days are typically going to be falling on and around a weekend, which provides them the coverage between the both schedules, the both shifts that we do have, and allot them the ability to kind of tailor their own schedule when investigations pop up that they can fill in there, and then also augment the patrol staff to assist in that too. So we're accomplishing a lot in this one position with the added duties and the added patrol time when there's more than one person on duty. So we are extremely excited for that. We've put out and solicited for individuals to submit their letter of intent to apply for the position virtually, and we're going to be going through that process second half of October, and then with the coming of them off of field training, and October 1st is our scheduled date to put this individual into that position. So again, we're really excited about moving forward and getting the ninth position up and running like we have been envisioning it for years to come. We've done a bunch of training. Training is an ongoing thing, obviously, and we did our summer multi-jurisdictional firearms training, which we qualified for the state. So once a year, we have to all qualify per a state standard on the use of our firearms, and that was the a lion's share of that course. In addition to a rifle course that the state will be introducing as also mandatory. The mandatory one currently is just with your pistol, so they're going to be doing one with a rifle, and they've already put out the curriculum to that. And I will say that our guys are very good shots, both with their pistol and the rifle. So especially coming, the two new guys have background in the military. They put pretty much the rest of us to shame now. National Night Out, we are gearing up for that. Obviously, our 15th anniversary of National Night Out on August 1st from 5 p.m. until 8 p.m. Looking forward to that. A lot of great things have come into together in the last 2 weeks or so, and it's going to be another good time. We've already put in the order for good weather, so it'll be a good night. I know a lot of you are already volunteering out there, especially with Brad taking a big share with the food, and appreciate that greatly. As you see in the last bullet point, our call volume. It is increased. I do have a typo in there. It's actually not 11,000. It was 1163 in 2022. So we've increased dramatically in there. And if I take your attention down the second to last bullet point, you'll see our traffic stops in the last quarter were 744. That is attributed to our new officers that are taking a proactive role in traffic enforcement, and they make a lot of traffic stops. So a lot of visual in and around the community, and we're always looking and striving to do that as well. So kudos to that. Real quick with the incidents, just turn your attention to a couple of them. I will call them the summer type incidents have increased. That's around typically drinking, that being battery and fights, drugs, domestic and disorderly conducts. Those are all up. And that's very common in the summer months. We see that. The other things of note, whereas there's only 11 thefts, those also include auto thefts, which we've had 3 of them. For the most part, the Kia boys were very active in the early part of the summer, and we seem to not be victims in that. However, end of June, beginning of July, they did hit us for 3 cars in a short period of time within a 1-week period. 2 of them were Kias. The third one, I don't know if necessarily was the Kia boys. There was a crime of opportunity when somebody left a car running with the keys in it at Quick Trip, and somebody helped themselves to the car and just took off. We have subsequently recovered all 3 of those cars with, unfortunately, no suspects around them. So that is the kind of a brief synopsis of what we've been doing. We've been working a lot of guys have been working a lot of overtime because of the short officer, but everybody's pulling a great weight and have a very positive attitude as well. Any questions?
Do you have the Skateland update?
Yeah, that's on the back. Flip the page over. Very quiet at Skateland. Again, summer is a quiet time for them. Their numbers are extremely down with all the summer activities in and around the Milwaukee area because their busy nights are on Friday and Saturday, hence all the festivals and stuff like that. So really one note that really wasn't an issue at all, where our guys got flagged down as they were just doing routine patrols and asking people to get assistance because Skateland security asked them to leave and they weren't leaving. And so they made contact with them as they were actually leaving. They conducted a traffic stop. There was some registration situation. They had a different story than security did. No different than any other situation. His story, her story, and the truth. But they gave him a few citations and said you can't not welcome back there and sent them on their way. And the additional bullet pointed ones that we responded to over there as well. But overall quiet. Good. Yes, agreed.
Good.
Anything else?
I just noticed that on the way in, that Officer Niesenbaum and Officer Long Ross had somebody pulled over in front of Napa.
Yes.
There's significant presence when those two pull somebody over.
Yes.
Just the traffic going by, that presence speaks volumes, and
Right.
maybe they'll start going, where are these guys hiding now? So that's good.
Exactly. Yeah. And with Officer Niesenbaum on second shift, he is our highest traffic producer by far. And he stops a lot of cars. Hampton, 124th and Silver Spring.
He's got some nice hiding spots.
Yes, he does. And the guys that Taylor, who was with him, he's just riding along with them today, and Isaac are like they're in the starting gates and just they're spinning their wheels to try and get out because
Give me.
yep, let me loose. So
Good. Nice
there's
job.
going to be a lot of traffic enforcement, which obviously is a visual deterrent in the village. Somebody might not be stopped, but they will slow down if they see those lights on a regular basis. In addition to individuals coming to do nefarious things within the village at night, they'll know that we're in and around the area. So hopefully they'll go someplace else.
Hopefully.
Thank you.
Fire department report. Chief Zillig. Thanks, Chief.
Second quarter is pretty much normal quarter for us. Run volume's up there. Looks like, again, we're gonna be real close to that 600 mark by the end of the year. We're right on the pace right now. Volume comes in groups. This weekend, for example, was light, but Friday I got dinged 6 times. Well, it's been that. Personnel wise, it's the same story. Spring I ramp up, and I just lost one guy to Milwaukee and another one to Western Lakes. So everybody's tapping. Problem is they're taking the people that I have experience, and now I got to start all over again. I've got 3 going to school for EMT. I should be able to hold that 20 mark, but it'll take a year to get them up to speed, back up. Equipment wise, I did complete all the DOTs on the trucks. They're all done. Pump tests on all the pumps are done. Everything's passed fine, nothing major. I have ladder testing that I'll finish up by the end of summer. Training, EMS we touched on. We updated some patient restraints and that. They've come out with a different, the state allows us to, a different way of doing it. And that we updated on the 12 lead, how we transmit it now to the hospital. And we touched on mass casualty and then stroke. Dr. Delary had us, we've updated. States had some update on stroke protocol. And fire training now, we're outside. Once March comes, my guys they're outside. So back on hose, a lot of driving, pumping ladders. This month we'll hit, we're hitting a defensive attack. So through the deck gun and off the ladder. That are the priorities. And as far as the runs for the month, all the fires were in the falls, which doesn't bother me, so I don't have to write the report. EMS was pretty much a normal month. We did have a fair amount of stroke this spring, but I think we're running into an aging population. And I've seen it both at the square and at the Regency. We're noticing more of a change and more elderly, and we're running into more of that kind of stuff. But Dr. Matt's happy. He's got all our protocols right up there, so we're hanging in there right there. Basically, any questions?
What is a soft patient?
Pardon?
What is a soft patient?
Soft patient restraints. In the old days, we had like a Velcro that we could 4-point down and then across the chest, which is, we're not allowed to do. And now it's a
Bungee
a
cord?
looser restraint. We built I can remember in the day where we'd sandwich them between 2 boards. They were really giving us, you know, if there was a fear that we were going to get into a tuffle with them. Now it's more of just on the wrist and that. And if it is a problem, then an officer will come with us. Or if he has to be in cuffs, an officer has to accompany us. Yeah. But the state has kind of backed off and let us on to let this soft restraints go. But it really, more for like a diabetic that we can't get down. But now that we can give the injections on the blood sugar and that, we tend to not have those kind of problems. You know? But every once in a while, you run into it, and the state protocols allowed for them now. So,
Thanks.
anything else?
All right, thanks, chief. A motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I will second. We are adjourned at 5:44 PM.
Thank you, everybody.